Mark Whitener, the Magic Man, out of Middleburg, Florida. He'll be driving car number 5. Always one to watch when we come to southern Georgia and in Florida. Car number 81, Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. Car number 20, TC, that'll be Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana. Number 10 car, the Kubota Tractors, Capital Race Car. That'll be Joseph Joyner out of Milton, Florida. Finished 4th in the point standings last season. There's the aforementioned number 19, Spencer Hughes out of Meridian, Mississippi. We'll be going to his home racetrack, Why Not Motorsports Park, in the end of March. Once we get rolling with the point season, tonight's event, a non-points race. Point season will pick up in early March at I-75 Raceway in Sweetwater, Tennessee. There's the number 28 car, Dennis Erb Jr. out of Carpentersville, Illinois. 1999 Hava Tampa Dirt Late Model Series Rookie of the Year. Been around, doesn't seem like it's been 26 years, but he's been around a long time. The one-man band, Dennis Erb Jr. So drivers picking it up. And we are in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. So make your teams as we play fantasy dirt late model racing with Dirt Draft. Draft your team. You have a $100,000 bank, I believe, that you can choose from and pick a few drivers. So be sure to go to dirtdraft.com and click on Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series and fill out your teams for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. We'll have a drop-in on Facebook Live and on your different social media pages right through qualifying, so you can pick those teams before then. Spencer Hughes down to 14-second bracket at 14.713. Of course, the time's unofficial until we go into qualifying. So Group 1 finishing up. Spencer Hughes at 14.7. So they'll head back to the pit area, make their final adjustments before they come out for My Race Pass qualifying. When the times count for real. New subscribers can select a free t-shirt by signing up for Dirt Draft. You can go to dirtdraft.com and fill all that out. Got all kinds of prizes during the course of the year. Dirt Draft Hot Lap Group number 2 headed out on the speedway. Car number 20 for the O Show, Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee, the Newport Nightmare, running with us here this evening. Car number 2, a new look for this driver. Little Sexy, Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia, driving with the number 2 on the door for 2025. There's the 19R for the Reaper, Ryan Guston out of Marshalltown, Iowa, out on the speedway. Car number 14, Hayden Cowan out of Rincon, Georgia, another one of the South Georgia favorites competing here tonight at Needmore Speedway here in Norman Park, Georgia. We're southwest of Tifton, Georgia, and northwest of Valdosta, Georgia. Car number 74X, Ethan Dodson out of Bakersfield, California. Drivers from all over the country assembling here tonight. 09 car, Michael Leach. He's out of Sun River, Montana. So when we say they're coming from all over, they are from all over. Big Sky Country, Montana. Car number 22 for Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. It's going to be tough to set those dirt draft teams tonight with the talent we've got in the pit area tonight. Will Dykes brings out the green flag, and we're back underway. Racetrack looking pretty good so far with all the rain we had yesterday. Chance Smith and his crew have been doing a great job working in this racetrack after the rain. Been out here working since 10 o'clock this morning. And several drivers now down in the 14-second bracket. Brian Gustin down to 14.287, 14.287. He and Jimmy Owens battling back and forth for that top spot. 14-1 now for Gustin. Checkered flag coming out. Jimmy Owens at 14.234, second quick. 14.442 for Drake Troutman in the 22 car. Cody Overton, fourth quick, car number 2, 14.544 and 14.749 for the 74X of Ethan Dotson. Group 3 rolling out on the speedway. First car out, the 3S, the Squirrel, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois. Car number 49 rolling out. That'll be Luke Morey out of Zeeland, Michigan. Car number 76 for the defending Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series national champion, Big Sexy Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. Wheeling the Longhorn house car tonight, the Napa Auto Parts Longhorn. Car number 28B. That'll be Carson Brown out of New London, North Carolina. Car number 1, Uncle T. Turbo Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas in car number 1. And in the 59 car out of Connorsville, Tennessee, it'll be Dillard Hatchett. Will Dykes waves the green flag up on the flag stand. Group 3 of 4. On the throttle, 40B. That'll be Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. So a very competitive field of super dirt late models on hand here tonight. In Norman Park, Georgia at Needmore Speedway. 3/8 mile clay oval. Kind of a D-shaped racetrack. Brandon Overton at 14.369. He's quick time in this session. Tyler Erb second quick in car number 1, 14.415. Brian Shirley, the 3S, third quick at 14.565. Carson Brown, fourth quick at 14.648 and 14.741. Fifth quick for the driver of car number 49, Luke Morey out of Zeeland, Michigan. Once again, the time's unofficial until we bring them out for My Race Pass qualifying. That'll be coming up shortly as our fourth and final group for Dirt Draft Hot Laps rolls out on the Speedway. In the 111 car, Stephen Roberts out of Sylvester, Georgia. Another one of the local favorites in a Longhorn chassis. Car number 81J, Jack Riggs out of Nolensville, Tennessee. $18D for the Big Perm, Dalton Wilson out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Car number 11, Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia. And the Rumbly number 6, driver out of Martinsville, Indiana. It'll be Hudson O'Neill in the 6 car tonight. Car number 38T, Matthew Taylor. He's from Fort Valley, Georgia. As Will Dykes waves that green flag, fourth and final Dirt Draft Hot Lap session underway for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Drivers getting their cars dialed in for My Race Pass qualifying. That'll be coming up next. We have got 38, I believe, Mod Lights getting tuned up in the staging area to come out for their hot lap session next. So Hudson O'Neill finding a new home behind the wheel of the Rumbly number 6. Seen Kyle Larson in this car before, and Jonathan Davenport's been in this machine. Dalton Wilson on top of the scoring loop at 14.430. So that'll do it for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Coming up next, it'll be Mod Lite Hot Laps. And here to tell you all about them and tell you about these fast, small but fast cars, here's Justin Newman.
Thank you, Roby. It's great to be a part of the broadcast here tonight on Hunt the Front TV and support the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Late Model Series. The first time the IMCA Mod Lights have been a part of the organization, and with a turnout like this from 10 states and 2 countries, hopefully it's not the last. So let's see what we can do with the IMCA Mod Light Group Hot Laps number 1. A 46 car, that's Brian Ziem. He's from Ames, Iowa, making the trip all the way down. The 99, that's the Iceman Josh May from Des Moines, Iowa, coming down to try his hand here in Florida Winter National Speedweeks. Also, the 60 car, that's Ron Nelson. Ron Nelson calls his home here in Florida. Ron just up the road in Ocala. The 4G, that's Ben George. He's from Altoona, Iowa, sponsored by the George Family Race Team. Looks like we got the 777. That's Dylan Permit out of Port St. Lucie, Florida, a 15-year-old driver. Green flag is out for this session of Hot Laps. Looks like the 11C, that's Carson Hubbard. He's from Fredericktown, Ohio. He's making his way to turn number 3 in this session of Hot Laps. Midway track champion this past year in the IMCA Mod Light division. Got a pack of them coming out of turn number 4, edge to 56J. That's Larry Hubbard Jr. from Cape Coral, Florida. To his inside, the 11D, that's Derek Hubbard Jr., that's his nephew. And the 7B, that's Wayne Bubba Smith from Fort Pierce, Florida. White flag is out for this group. Top of the leaderboard right now is Carson Hubbard in a 17.905. There's the 65, that's Joe Boyle. He's from Kokomo, Indiana. Joe Boyle, they call him the journeyman. He travels all over the country for these IMCA Mod Light races. looks like the top of the leaderboard. Now, once again, like Ruby said, these are unofficial until qualifying. Carson Hubbard in the 11C with a 17.847. Dylan Perman in the 777 with a 17.97. And Ben George in the 4G with an 18.131. Those are your top three in your first session in Hot Laps. I want to thank the Hunt the Front Series for allowing us to be a part of this show. Tonight's sponsors for the Mod Lite portion is Stealth Racing, Yardley Premium Beef, Amigos Mexican Grill with 4 locations in eastern Tennessee, Performance Bodies and Parts, and Fast Shafts. Those are tonight's sponsors for the Mod Lite portion of tonight's event. Racing for $2,000 tonight. It's the first night of the Florida Winter Nationals, a $4,000 points fund set up for these guys through 3 events at 3 different racetracks. What was scheduled to be 2 events here at Needmore, along with 2 events in Ocala, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th with the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Models. And then we're going to wrap up the Florida Winter Nationals at the Hendry County Motorsports Park, the southernmost dirt track in the United States, for the 6th annual Sugar Bowl. Pays $3,000 to win for these guys. So got a $4,000 points fund. That's going to go up to the top 10 drivers in accumulative points after 5 events. Second group rolling onto the racetrack. And here's who we're going to have. Looks like the first one out, our lone entry from Canada. He's from Wickham, Quebec. That's Jean-Francois Leblanc in the AMSOIL 721. Behind him in the 14, that's Stealth Racing sponsored Brian Compart. Brian comes to us out of Madrid, Iowa. Behind him, that's the 10W, Justin Williams out of West Monroe, New York in that UFO chassis. Black and orange machine. Kyle Demo from Fulton, New York in the 22. Had a tough luck here in practice and flipped that car. His crew got it all back together, and he's out to set some fast laps here in qualifying, or hot laps rather. The 55 West Palm Beach Rookie of the Year candidate for the IMCA Stealth Mod Lights. That's Robbie Troop. Behind him, the 3 car. That's a new car without a wrap. That's Nathan Wolf from Lee's Summit, Missouri. He travels along with Dylan and Michael Rafferty out of the Kansas City, Missouri. Going around him on the outside, the 61-year-old Tim White out of Salisbury, Maryland in an Edge chassis. The 9 car, that's Roger Olszewski going to the infield there with some problems. In this group, the 16, Timmy White with a 17.673 going to the top of the leaderboard there. Coming out of turn number 4 here, that is the 121 Josh Souza. Josh Souza comes to us all the way from Texas. He calls Highlands, Texas home. Checkered flags out. Looks like the 007 there, the brother, the Dylan Perman. That's CJ Perman from Fort Pierce. Bouncing it through turn number 3 there. So checkered flag is out after that group. Timmy White in that blue and orange and white 16 car Edge-sponsored chassis. Going to go to the top of the leaderboard. Robbie Troop, brother to Stevie. He was your 2022 IMCA National Rookie of the Year. Going to the 3rd spot on the leaderboard there with a 17.85. So you've got a veteran and a 61-year-old Timmy White at the top of the leaderboard, and 3 youngsters, Carson Hubbard, Robbie Troop, and Dylan Perman, all right there behind him in the top 4. Once again, this is only hot laps, so the track is fast right now. The late models are back making adjustments to come out for their qualifying, and then when it counts, the IMCA Mod Lights will come back for their qualifying heat race order. Tonight's format for the IMCA Mod Lights, we're going to take the top 8 out of qualifying and lock them automatically into tonight's 25-lap A-Main, paying $2,000 to the winner. And then everyone else will go into 4 heat races. And from those 4 heat races, we'll transfer the top 4 into that A-Main. Third group onto the racetrack, that's the 722. He was second in international point standings. That's Jaden McDowell. Jaden, before I get this wrong, I want to make sure I know where he's from. It's Murfreesboro. I need to say it right. It's Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The 11 car, that's Joseph Dunlap. That's a teammate. He also comes to us out of Tennessee from Shelbyville. If I don't get that right, Wesley's going to be mad at me. The B7, that's Leighton Bennett. He's also out of Tennessee. He calls Chapel Hill home. The 38, Cameron Pinkston. He's also a Tennessee driver. A lot of Tennessee drivers here tonight. Cameron's out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. The 8 car, LR8, Ronnie Choate. He's a perennial favorite anywhere he goes. He's the 2023 Super Nationals champion. He's from Cookeville, Tennessee. in the LR8. The 60, the 60. Not sure who that is. He's not on my list. We'll have to get that figured out. Nice black car there. The 41, that's Michael Rafferty out of Kansas City, Missouri. That's the 34. Behind him, that's Chris Pinkston, brother to Cameron, out of Shelbyville, Tennessee. McDowell to the second on your leaderboard with a 17.71. That's the 9W. That's Douglas Williams out of Fulton, West Monroe, New York. Sponsored by A-Plus Property Management. So McDowell second quick behind Timmy White there in that black and white 7.22 with a 17.711, just 1/10 off of the quickest time set so far in these group hot laps. The LR8 Ronnie Choate sneaks up into the top 5 with a 17.896. 17.896. Come to the checkered flag there, the 7.22, your runner-up in national points last year. 38 IMCA mod lights from 10 states and 2 countries. Looks like we got one more group. Timmy White in that Edge chassis, still atop of your leaderboard. Once again, like Roby said, these are unofficial until we get to when it counts. And that'll be during my race pass qualifying. Beautiful weather here in Georgia. A little bit chilly, but still beautiful weather. You can still wear a light coat and enjoy the races tonight. Got a nice, beautiful racetrack here. And here comes our next group rolling onto the racetrack. You see them right there in your screen coming to you. The 64, that's Micah Collins. Micah's got a brand new race ride. That car actually was a giveaway. He was part of the Tennessee Mod Light Association last year, and that chassis was up for the giveaway from all of those drivers, and he won that in a raffle at their banquet. So good to see Micah out here with that car. The 47 from Pleasant Hill, Missouri, that's Ed Griggs in that black 47. The 807K. The 807K, that's John Wright. He's out of Colchester, Illinois. The 9C, that's Riley Clem. He was your 2024 IMCA Super Nationals winner. He's out of Wildersville, Tennessee, by way of Bakersfield, California. The 21, that's Christopher Townsend, teammate to Josh Souza in the 121. That's the 21, and he is from Tarkington, Texas. The 0, that's, going to make sure I say this right, Colby Ombrecht from Adel, Iowa. Came down with Ben George. The 20, John Pitts, also from Tennessee. Got a big contingent here from the Tennessee group. John Pitts coming from Woodbury, Tennessee. Always a fast favorite anywhere he goes, so watch that white and black 20 car. Something about white and black 20 cars from Tennessee, Roby. I'm not sure what it is, but they're always fast. There's the other 9 that you see from Huxley, Iowa. That's Garrison Anderson. Had some tough luck on that practice night. Hit the wall, broke a lot of front end parts on that car. They've thrashed and got it back together. He's shaking it down to see if he can be a part of the show tonight. So looking forward to seeing what he can do out there. His crew worked really hard the last couple of days. We talked about this guy earlier in the 22 car. Kyle Demo looks like he's back out for a second round of hot laps. He had some real tough luck here in practice. Didn't even get a full lap and flipped that car end over end with some broken parts. So they were able to get that car back together, and he's out to do some hot laps and hopefully redeem himself. Always, again, a front runner anywhere he goes in that Predator chassis. All right, looks like the flagman's going to give us the green flag this time here as the 64 Micah Collins going to bring him out of turn number 4. Green flag is out. So after hot laps, we'll have the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Late Model Series back out for their qualifying. And then we'll also have the IMCA Mod Lights come out doing group qualifying. They'll qualify 5 at a time, and their fastest lap will determine whether or not they're one of the top 8, or they have to qualify through a heat race. The first few laps are coming up onto the board. Still Timmy White, Jaden McDowell, Carson Hubbard, Robbie Troop, and Ronnie Choate, your top 5. White flag is out. One more time around the 3/8 mile here at Needmore Speedway in Norman Park, Georgia. John Pitts moving up to 7th quick. Riley Clem moving up to 5th quick, knocking Choate out with a 17.883. So Riley Clem in this group moving into the top 5. Riley Clem going to the 3rd spot this time with a 17.836. So the biggest mover in this group, the 9C, Riley Clem out of Wildersville, Tennessee, moving up into the 3rd spot with a 17.836. So that will complete your IMCA Mod Lite Stealth Racing Hot Laps. And I'm going to turn it back over to my broadcast partner, Roby Helm, for your qualifying for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Late Model Series.
All right, now it's time to lay down a time for real for both the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series cars, and Justin will have qualifying for the Mod Lights coming up after that. My Race Pass. All the race day information you need is now in the palm of your hand on your device, whether it be your smartphone or, in my case, the dumb phone or your iPad, whatever. You can download My Race Pass, and you can get all the latest timing and scoring, all the rundown of the races, race lineups, race results, and a whole lot more. You can even buy tickets on My Race Pass to a lot of the races, including Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series races. So be sure to download that in Google Play and in the App Store. It's just $8 a year, best $8 you'll spend all year. And I highly recommend it. You can follow along whether you're at the races or whether you're at home. And not only can you get the races here at Needmore Speedway, you can get race results from races all around the world all year long. So be sure to download that My Race Pass. So the drivers getting in the staging lanes. Each driver has drawn for their spot in the qualifying line. They must come out in the order in which they drew for qualifying to get their full allotment of 2 laps on the clock. Failure to do so is a 1-lap penalty. First car scheduled to come out will be the M2 car, Caden Mullinex out of Birmingham, Alabama. He'll be followed out by the 20TC, Tristan Chamberlain out of Richmond, Indiana. And we'll have the 81 car, Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. Green flag is out. We are underway. Chamberlain working the middle groove around the speedway. Mullinex went to the top shelf on his first lap. Riggs also working up on the rim. Jason Riggs at 14.910. Chamberlain at 15.024. And Chamberlain at make that Mullinex at 14.910. So Riggs coming down to complete lap number 2. He's quicker, 14.725. Chamberlain, he'll be second quick at 14.879. Third quick, Caden Mullinex in the M2 car at 14.919. So he will be qualifying them 3 cars at a time. Next trio scheduled to come out in the Kubota Tractors Capital Race car out of Milton, Florida. It'll be Joseph Joyner in car number 10. 19M will be Spencer Hughes out of Meridian, Mississippi. And in the 5 car, Mark Whitener, the Magic Man out of Middleburg, Florida. That'll be your next 3 cars rolling out on the speedway. And everybody present and accounted for. Will Dykes has the green flag in his hand. He'll wave it to Joseph Joyner as he's on the clock. There's Spencer Hughes taking the green flag in car number 19. Also out on the racetrack in the 5 car, Mark Whitener. White flag is out. 1 down, 1 to go. Joseph Joyner goes to provisional pole in heat race number 1 at 14.378. Spencer Hughes, he's third quick at 14.704. Mark Whitener is second quick, 14.522. Joseph Joyner quicker on lap 2 at 14.378. Mark Whitener, lap number 2. He'll go to the top of the list at 14.205. So Mark Whitener, provisional pole for heat race number 1 at 14.205. Joseph Joyner, third quick, 14.378. Spencer Hughes, third fastest in car number 19 at 14.599. Jason Riggs, fourth quick at 14.725. And Christian Chamberlain, fifth fastest at 14.879. Next trio getting set to roll out in car number 28 out of Carpentersville, Illinois. It'll be Dennis Erb Jr. Car number 2 for Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia. And in the 14 car, Hayden Cowan out of Roncon, Georgia. Car number 14. Dennis Erb Jr., former national champion, rolling out in car number 28. He'll be bringing that machine around to the green flag from Will Dykes, and Dennis Erb Jr. on the clock. There's the 2 car for Cody Overton out of Thompson, Georgia, and out of Rincon, Georgia. In the 14, Hayden Cowan. White flag in the air, 1 down, 1 to go. Let's see how they work it out. Dennis Erb Jr. will go third quick in car number 28. Now Cody Overton third quick at 14.416. Dennis Erb Jr. fourth quick at 14.502. And Hayden Cowan, eighth fastest at 14.890. Mark Whitener still at the top of the board. 14.205. That's the mark they're shooting for. Next 3 getting set to roll out of the chute in car number 22. It'll be Drake Troutman out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. The 20 of the O-Show, Jimmy Owens out of Newport, Tennessee in the 74X. Ethan Dodson out of Bakersfield, California. So green flag out for Troutman in the 22. There's the O-Show, Jimmy Owens in car number 20 coming down for the green flag. And final car coming down for a 2-lap qualification run, the 74X of Ethan Dotson, California driver. So white flag out, 1 down, 1 to go. Drake Troutman up to fourth quick in the 22 car. Jimmy Owens sixth fastest. Dotson seventh quick. Checkered flag coming out. So Drake Troutman fourth quick at 14.426 seconds. Jimmy Owens will be fifth quick in car number 20 at 14.5. And Ethan Dotson seventh quick in car number 74 at 14.565. Mark Whitener, Joseph Joyner, Cody Overton, still your top 3. Coming out next in the 09 car from Sun River, Montana, it'll be Michael Leach. Car 14R for Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa, and in car number 59, Dillard Hatchett from Connorsville, Tennessee. So white flag out for that trio of drivers. Gustin will go second quick on his first lap. So watching the 19R, there's the 59 of Hatchett. Gustin with a 14.254. So Roger Gustin, 14.242 on the second lap. He's still second quick. Mark Whitener still on top at 14.205. Dillard Hatchett, 11th quick at 14.741. Coming out next in the 3S, it'll be Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois. Car number 1 for Turbo Tyler Erb out of New Waverly, Texas. And in the 76 car, defending Hunt the Front, Super Dirt Series national champion, Big Sexy Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia in the Longhorn House car. 3 drivers to watch on this one. Overton will go 5th quick in the 76 car, 14.379. So it's still Whitener, Gustin, and Shirley, your top 3. Brian Shirley, 3rd quick at 14.286. He'll drop Joseph Joyner down to 4th quick, and Brandon Overton, 5th quick in car number 76 at 14.379. Next 3 out will be the 40B for Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida. 28B will be Carson Brown out of New London, North Carolina. And the 49, Luke Morey out of Zeeland, Michigan. Those are your next 3 cars out for My Race Pass qualifying. Bronson going to go 8th quick at 14.467. So the 40B, Kyle Bronson up in the top 10. Next trio that'll roll out will be the 81J of Jack Riggs out of Nolensville, Tennessee. The 11 of Alan Stick out of Americus, Georgia. And the 111 for Stephen Roberts out of Sylvester, Georgia. Time to beat 14.205, set by Mark Whitener in car number 5. Carson Brown at 14.711, 16th fastest. So nobody able to crack the top 10. Well, Jack Riggs, he'll go 4th quick at the 81 car, 14.302. So that's good for a front row spot in the heat race. Final 3 getting set to roll out on the speedway, and they are 3 good ones. The 18D, the big perm out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, will be Dalton Wilson. 38T for Matthew Taylor out of Fort Valley, Georgia, and in car number 6. The New Deal, Hudson O'Neal out of Martinsville, Indiana, and that Rumley Longhorn number 6. Let's see what they can lay down here in My Race Pass qualifying final 3 cars on the Speedway. Is there any goodie left in the racetrack to get them up in one of those top 5 spots? Hudson O'Neal, 10th quick at 14.471. Now 9th quick on lap 2 at 14.433. So Hudson O'Neal in the top 10. Dalton Wilson, 13th quick at 14.553 seconds. And your My Race Pass fast qualifier. He'll start on the pole position to heat race number 1. With a time of 14.205. How about a nice round of applause for your fast qualifier, Mark Widener? Second quick, it'll be Ryan Gustin. He'll be on the pole of heat race number 2 at 14.242 seconds. And third quick, he'll be on the pole of heat race number 3. It'll be Brian Shirley in the 3S at 14.286. Outside front row, heat race number 1, fourth quick, a Jack Riggs in the 81J at 14.302. Outside front row, heat race number 2, car number 10, Joseph Joyner, 14.378. And outside front row of heat race number 3, your 6th fastest qualifier in car number 76. It'll be Brandon Overton with a time of 14.379. So that'll do it for My Race Pass qualifying for the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series. Going to do a fast qualifier interview with Mark Whitener coming up. So we'll wait for them to get in place down in the pit area. Hunter Jordan, our pit reporter, will have Mark Whitener standing by here shortly. So the lineups will be set for our 3 sublimited heat races. The winner of each heat race will pull in for the Jericho Transmissions redraw. They'll reach in a hat, draw a 1, a 2, or a 3, depending on what number they draw. That's where they'll start in the main event. And at this time, let's send it down to the pit area with Hunter Jordan with our fast qualifier, Mark Whitener.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I got our quick time qualifier, Mark Whitener, down here. Mark, you got here earlier today. How's the track feeling?
Oh, it feels great. You know, Chance works really hard on getting this place where we can race on it, and it's really, really good, really, really fast. It's kind of nerve-wracking down there. You know, I'm used to coming around this place in a 604 or a spec motor or whatever, and with this super late model stuff, it's things happen a little faster. But you know, we just put our heads together, and you know, Cody Jett's working on that thing. All my guys back there working on it. We're just we've got a fast car. I just gotta put it together. I got to do my job behind the seat, or behind the steering wheel. So we'll just see what we can do. We start on the pole this heat race and see what we can come up with.
You've definitely had some success over the years during speed weeks. You think you can use some of that momentum into this evening?
We, as far as our team, we're a very competitive team. You know, even though we work, but we're very competitive and we want to do good with these guys. These are the best in the country. There's a lot of good guys here, and to be up front on all those is very, it's hats off to our team. So we just going to try to put a show on for these fans right here. Like a lot of these guys know me from running here. You know, we probably run here 5, 6, 8 times a year, and we looking forward to putting a show on for them and seeing if I can get a pull out of victory.
What do you want to thank before we're done here?
Shayna, them guys helped me a lot. Ocala Restaurant Supply, Pro Power, Cody Jett, there's just Chad Tootin with Boswell Oil. He helps me a lot. Hoosier Tire, You know, when you come race them night in, night out, it's a lot of fuel, a lot of tires. That's your biggest expense, in my opinion. So, you know, my Pro Power motor's running good. Longhorn chassis is doing good. You know, like I said, special thanks to Shayna and Butch. They put this, you know, when I run supers, it's mainly out of their pocket. So, just like to thank them. You know, they don't know how much I appreciate them. So, everybody that puts money in my race team. We're a small team. We have to everybody puts their heads together and their pockets together to get here. So, just like to thank everybody that helps me. I know I missed a few, but thank everybody.
Good luck later this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, your quick time qualifier, the Magic Man, Mark Whitener. Roby, back up to you.
Thank you, Hunter Jordan, and congratulations to Mark Whitener, our My Race Pass Fast qualifier. He'll start on the pole position of heat race number 1, the Quicksilver Engines 8-lap heat race. Mod Lite's coming up next with their qualifying, and we will turn it back over to Justin Newman with Mod Lite qualifying.
Thank you, Roby. Thank you. Got 38 Mod Lites here coming out to qualify. Going to qualify in group qualifying. I believe we're going to do 5 per group. Group number 1, the 46Z, Brian Ziem out of Ames, Iowa, and the Peak Decals Premium Powder Coating Bullet chassis. The 16, he was your quick time in those hot laps. The 16, Timmy White out of Salisbury, Maryland. Sponsored by H&E Bath Repair, Paul Davis Restoration, in an Edge chassis. The 10W, Justin Williams out of West Monroe, New York. Sponsored by UFO Chassis, in a UFO chassis with Yoshimura Power. Also the 9 out of Walcott, New York, Roger Olszewski. GSM Motorsports, AJ McFly Pops and Ships, UFO Kawasaki powered ride. And the 5th one scheduled to come out in group number 1 from Altoona, Iowa, the 4G Ben George. Ben George sponsored by ADA Mowing, Watch and Clock Junction, and the Sonner family in a Bullet chassis powered by Yoshimura. So there's that 16-car Timmy White onto the racetrack. This will be group number 1. Group qualifying, they'll take 4 laps, and they'll take their best of 4 laps, and that'll be where they go onto the leaderboard. And the green flag is out. For this group, looks like we're missing maybe the 9 car. No, he made it out. Justin Williams out of turn number 4 in that UFO-sponsored chassis. Making a trip all the way down from West Monroe, New York. Brian Ziem coming around to complete lap number 1. Going to put him on the leaderboard. Timmy White fast so far with a 17.493. Brian Ziem into the 19. Second time around better. Ben George with an 18.361. Timmy White still leading the way with a 17.493 that he set on lap number 1. Ben George now up to 2nd. Ziem into 3rd. Williams 4th. And Olszewski in 5th. And that looks like that's how it's going to shake out. Got one turned around in turn number 2 up there. Looks like that might be the 9 car. Oh, that's Timmy White. Oh, no. Hard into the wall, it looks like. The front end of that car is laid out. Your fast qualifiers so far. Wow. I didn't get to see how that one played out. The driver is okay from the track safety crew. Got 5 cars on the racetrack that time. Not sure if we had a replay on that one. We're trying to follow the action of 5 cars all at one time in the qualifying. Man, that's tough luck. But if I know Timmy and his car owner, JD, who actually builds the Edge chassis, here comes your On the Front TV replay at the top of your screen. You can just see him enter the top of your screen right up there. Here he comes. That blue car just went by. You follow him. Looks like he just jumped the berm there and lost it. Something might have broke. He was hard into that wall in turn number 2, so glad Timmy is okay. Great camera work there by the folks at Hunt the Front TV. Timmy's there out of the car. He's going to go check it out. Hopefully it's just some front-end parts, and they'll be able to get him back up and going. As it stands right now, he's your fast qualifier. And that's a pretty fast lap, so that might hold up for quite a while. So tonight's format, obviously we're locking in the top 8 from this qualifying into the A main event. And then we're going to take everybody else into heat races. Our 4 heat races tonight. Performance Bodies, heat race number 1. Fast Shafts, heat race number 2. Yardley Premium Beef, heat race number 3. And Amigos Mexican Grill, heat race number 4. And we'll take the top 4 out of each of those to make a 24-car A main. All the other cars will go into a non-qualifier event so that everyone leaves with some money. We want to thank the folks here at Hunt the Front and Needmore for making sure that even though these guys that drove all the way from Canada, New York, and places beyond, make sure they all go home with some money. As I mentioned earlier, 2 more big events for these guys coming up. Next week, they'll be with the Lucas Oil Late Models at Ocala Speedway. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And then they'll travel to the southernmost dirt track in the United States at Hendry County Motorsports Park for February 6th, 7th, and 8th for the 6th Annual Sugar Bowl Winter Nationals. Well, they'll be alongside the Outlaw 600s and the King of the 360 Sprint Cars, paying $10,000 to win on Saturday night, February the 8th. So they're taking a little extra care there, making sure they get the car picked up and don't get any other damage there. So, like I said, if I know Tim and his crew, they'll be thrashing on that and have him ready to go for heat races for sure. Well, we've got a free minute here and talk a little bit about the cars coming up in group number 2. Fredericktown, Ohio youngster, the 11C Carson Hubbard. He was your midway track champion this year in the IMCA Mod Light division. The Iceman Josh May out of Des Moines, Iowa in the 99. Derek Hubbard Jr., Carson's older brother from Belleville, Ohio in the 11H. And their uncle, Larry Hubbard Jr. from Cape Coral, Florida in the 56, going to be coming out in group number 2. Looks like that group will also include the 007 of Port St. Lucie youngster CJ Perman. So that's the preview for group number 2. You know, a side note about the 11C Carson Hubbard, he's got a tribute wrap on the side of that car if you're